Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with more Pokemon Scarlet content. As you guys know, in the last episode, we actually adventured down into Area 0, and as well, we also made it to the depths in order to try to capture some Paradox Pokemon that are actually available within Pokemon Scarlet. We also ended up capturing the other Koraidon with our Master Ball, and we are at the point where we are almost finished our Pokedex. Now, what we will be doing today here, we will actually be using another Nintendo Switch, and we'll be trading in all of the Pokemon from Pokemon Violet that are Paradox Pokemon and or Legendaries that are not available in this game. Now, before we do this, I just want to state that currently right now the progress in the game is that we've actually almost completed our Pokedex. We've become the champion of the Paldea region, and as well we also finished up with all of the storylines from the main game. So let's go ahead here and we're going to heal up here real fast. Morning, Champion Corey. Here to let your precious Pokemon rest? I'd like to heal my Pokemon. We'll need your Pokemon for a few seconds. Now this is actually supposedly going to unlock a feature which allows you to check your IVs of your Pokemon. Rotom and the rest of your team should be all better now. Oh, by the way, did you know? Now that you have the Hall of Fame badge, I've unlocked the Judge function for you. Okay, so the Judge function. While in your boxes, you can press the plus button twice to navigate to check the individual strengths inherent to your Pokemon. Or, did you already know that? Well, I do hope my little tidbits come in handy. Come back and see us again whenever you need. So what this means is we can actually see our effort values and our IVs of our Pokemon now within the boxes. Now, if we go into the box, if let's say we want to look at Screaming Tail, all we have to do is hit the plus sign. Okay, so we can see Screaming Tail's information here. But if we press it again, we can see what the stats are like. So right now, this is telling me that HP is pretty good, attack is pretty good, defense is pretty good, decent, and pretty good. But what does it look like if a Pokemon has 6 IVs? Well, I'm going to show you Spidops. First off, these Pokemon are hyper-trained. So all of my Pokemon show up as amazing stats. But that's what you would see is if you were actually getting these Pokemon. So what we actually did, we went through and we hyper-trained a lot of our Pokemon. So as you can see, my attack stat on Boo is hyper-trained, but all my other Pokemon that I used for the Pokemon League, I went through and hyper-trained them. So that's pretty much where we're at. But if you see a Pokemon that has amazing stats, it means that that's basically a 6 IV Pokemon. So 31 in every stat. Okay, so what we need to do is we actually need to get ourselves 12 Pokemon that we can trade. Okay, so we've got 12 of our Pokemon, and we are going to go into the Poke Portal. Now, we're going to do a link trade offline, so that way it finds just my Switch. And we're going to go through here and trade these Pokemon out. So, we're going to get a bunch of different Pokemon. So there's about 12 Pokemon in total that we're going to be getting. 2 of which of the Pokemon are from the Terra Raids. So 2 Terra Raid Pokemon will be obtained during this. These are events that the Pokemon Company tend to put on every so many months. But these Pokemon are only available by going to these event Terra Raids. If you don't have the ability to do them, you have to make sure you have up to, I think, the Black Crystals for Terra Raids. And eventually when those go live, you can actually go in and battle these Pokemon. Oh, I see what's going on here. I had a trade code in my settings. Try searching again. Yeah, so we are going to trade those 2 Pokemon over. Okay. So the first Pokemon we're going to trade here, we're going to trade Bronzor. And we're going to get ourselves a Pokemon known as Iron Bundle. Now, as you guys can see, it kind of looks like a Delibird. Now, these Pokemon are all said to be futuristic. So these are the ones that came from the future. If you guys don't know the story of Pokemon Violet, so unlike Pokemon Scarlet, where the Pokemon came from the ancient past, in Pokemon Violet you have a different professor, and it's Arven's dad, and he actually looks for Pokemon from the future. He wants to bring them to current day. So this is one of those Paradox Pokemon. So Iron Bundle, its shape is similar to robot featured in a paranormal magazine article. The robot was said to have been created by an ancient civilization. Now, that's interesting. An ancient civilization. That's different. I wonder why it says ancient, not futuristic. Okay, next Pokemon up is going to be Iron Hands. I almost said bundle again. Now, you guys should be very familiar with this Pokemon if you guys have been watching my YouTube videos for a while. This Pokemon is one that I've used in a lot of my battles. Same thing with Iron Bundle. Two very common Pokemon in the competitive scene. Okay, Knackley is going to be traded. And, of course, we are going to get ourselves an Iron Hands. As you guys can see, I am using my Switch. No trade systems or nothing, just another game console. Okay, Iron Hands. It is very similar to a cyborg covered exclusively by a paranormal magazine. The cyborg was said to be the modified form of a certain athlete. Okay, next Pokemon up is going to be called Iron Jugulus. Now, if you take a look at it, it kind of looks like the Hydreigon. Now, of course, there is a Paradox from Pokemon Scarlet that is also based off of the Hydreigon. And, of course, that one is Roaring Moon. So this is the Pokemon Violet variant of it. Okay, we got Iron Jugulus. Now, it says here that it resembles a certain Pokemon introduced in a paranormal magazine, described as the offspring of a Hydreigon that fell in love with a robot. What a weird Pokedex entry. What even is that one? Okay. Next Pokemon up, we are going to get a Pokemon called Iron Moth. Now, as you guys can see, it kind of looks like a Volcarona. Now, of course, we already have Slitherwing, and then we also have the Iron Moth, and then we have Volcarona. So they kind of all look alike together. Let me guess. Volcarona was in love with a robot, right? All of the Pokemon that come over from Pokemon Violet are mostly robotic. They look pretty much robotic. So we got Iron Moth here. And it says here, this Pokemon resembles an unknown object described in a paranormal magazine as a UFO sent to observe humanity. Now, the funny thing is that they use the term UFO. Should have been UAP. Unidentified phenomena. Or, what's it called? Yeah, UAP. Yeah. Okay, Iron Thorns is the next Pokemon. This is the one that I said it was called Iron something in the last video. We will be getting Iron Thorns here. Now, if you take a look at him, he actually looks like a Tyranitar. Now, of course, the typings are different than the Tyranitar typing, and it's pretty much electric at this point. And we're going to see what it says here. I bet you it kind of resembles a Mecha Godzilla of some kind. Okay, we got ourselves Iron Thorns. Now it says here that it has some similarities to a Pokemon introduced in a dubious magazine as a Tyranitar from 1 billion years into the future. Okay, next Pokemon is Iron Threads, or Treads, sorry, not Threads. It doesn't do any sewing. Now, as you guys can see, this Pokemon looks almost like Donphan. And as you guys know, in this generation, or in this game of Pokemon Scarlet, we get a Pokemon called Great Tusks, which actually looks like a giant Donphan from the ancient past. Now, this is the variant from the future. Okay. This Pokemon closely resembles a scientific weapon that a paranormal magazine claimed was sent to this planet by aliens. Interesting. Thinks it's an alien technology. Okay, next Pokemon that we're going to trade here is going to be called Iron Valiant. As you guys can see, it's going to look like a Gallade of some sorts anyways. Give it a second here to get the trade out. Okay. We're sending Penny off to the unknown. Okay, and we got ourselves the Iron Valiant. Now, it is said that it has some similarities to a mad scientist invention covered in a paranormal magazine. Okay, next Pokemon that is going to be traded over. It's not a... well, it is a Paradox Pokemon. It is Miraidon. Now, of course, if you guys have been watching in Pokemon Scarlet, we had Koraidon, which is actually a dragon fighting type. This one here is a dragon electric type. And just like as in this generation, or in this game, we're riding around on Koraidon, while in Violet, you're riding around on Miraidon. Two different Pokemon, all based off of the Silezer line. Okay, Miraidon. Much remains unknown about this creature. It resembles Silezer, but it is far more ruthless and powerful. Okay, next up, we're going to trade a Pokemon called Iron Boulder. Now, this Pokemon resembles a Pokemon known as Terrakion. Now, if you guys aren't aware, this is I believe, a DLC Pokemon. This is a part of the DLC for the Blueberry Academy. And in this game, what ends up happening is that when you finished up with the main story and you head off to the Blueberry Academy, you get the ability to unlock these Pokemon in your game. And of course, the Iron Boulder is only available in Pokemon Violet. Now, of course, in Pokemon Scarlet, we have a series of different Pokemon that we can obtain. And we'll go over that here in just a moment. Next Pokemon that we're going to get here is called Iron Crown. And as you guys know, that this Pokemon actually looks very similar to another Pokemon from Generation 5. I wish I could remember the name of it. I think it's Cobalion, if I'm not mistaken. But this Pokemon is actually very common in competitive play, especially when paired up with an NDD. Okay, goodbye, Charlie. Come on over, Iron Crown. Okay, we got our Iron Crown. And what does the dex say for Iron Crown? Oh, it did not give me a dex. Interesting. Probably a small glitch. Okay, the next Pokemon that we're going to be trading is called Iron Leaves. And this is one of the Pokemon that I was telling you are from the Terra Raids. So in order to have these Pokemon, Nintendo actually puts out the event into a Terra Raid. And it goes for one weekend here and another weekend there. Comes out every couple of months. But this Pokemon is actually not embedded in the actual game itself, so you can't find it in the wild anywheres, unless you get the actual event for Iron Valiant, or not Iron Valiant, sorry, Iron Leaves in your game. Now, of course, Iron Leaves comes over from Pokemon Violet. Okay? Now, we're going to trade a Pokemon in, which is actually from our game, which is the exact opposite of the Iron Leaves. We're going to get a Pokemon known as Walking Wake. Now, if you guys take a look at it here, it kind of looks like an ancient dinosaur-like Suicune. So we're actually going to trade this Pokemon over here. And I'm sure you guys have already guessed it. At some point, we're going to come across a Pokemon from the past generations, Generation 2, into a different Paradox form. There's Entei, and then there's a Raikou variant that we're also going to be able to find in this game as well. And those Pokemon are actually DLC mons. They're the same idea as the Iron Boulder and the Iron Crown. So at some point we're going to be unlocking those in the game, and I'll show you guys where to get those as we go through the story. But as it is right now, this means that we've actually finished up with our Pokedex. So we're going to close out. We're going to turn off the other switch. Thank you, Switch, for always being helpful. And let's take a look at our Pokedex. Now, this should have finished off our Paldea Pokedex. As you guys can see, there's a little ribbon, and we just acquired what's known as a Beast Ball. That means you've encountered every single Pokemon there is to find in Paldea. Exploring the region on your own 2 feet is a real treasure of an experience, isn't it? You know, I think you deserve a special diploma in recognition of this magnificent event. Come to see me in the biology lab back at Naranja Academy when you have some time. The Pokedex completion mark has been added to your profile. As a reward of completing the Pokedex, you received a Beast Ball. And as you guys can see, congratulations, you've completed the Pokedex. So let's take a look at the actual Pokedex for 2 of these Pokemon. There was... Where are they here? Oh, they don't get unlocked until we go to Blueberry. Okay. Keep your secrets. Let's take a look at the Kitakami Pokedex. And as you can see, we are getting extremely close to that. So let's go find our professor and get that special diploma. Okay, off to Naranja Academy. Keeps telling me that I can claim rewards, but I thought I already did that. Let's just see here. I'm pretty sure we've already done it. Yeah, we did. Okay, so we've gotten all 400. That's pretty good. That's a really good achievement right there. And that's something that not a lot of people do nowadays. Okay, so we're going off to the biology lab. And let's go talk to Mr. Jacques. Ah, hello, hello. Have you gotten used to things here at the Academy, Corey? Yeah. Great, glad to see you're having fun. Oh, have you been using the Pokedex app? I'm the one who made it, you know. Every time someone uses the app catches a Pokemon, that data gets sent to me. It's really helping with my Pokemon research. So be sure to catch as many new Pokemon you find, and working on filling in your Pokedex. For the first goal, let's aim to say 30 registered 30 Pokemon in your app. Let me know once you've done so. I see, you've already registered 30 species of Pokemon in your Pokedex for me. Wow, so you've caught this kind of Pokemon? And this one? All this data? This is the best! Sorry about that. I got a little excited there. But I get the feeling that you're going to be a great help in my Pokemon research. Here, take these. Consider it my way of saying thanks. Okay, so we got Full Swipe. Make sure you're good at catching... you sure are good at catching Pokemon, aren't you, Corey? For your next goal, let's aim for 100 species. Remember, when you find a Pokemon you've never seen before, give a Pokeball a throw. I see you've already registered 100 species in your Pokedex for me. Wow! Little Pokemon? Big Pokemon? Whoa! You even have data on a Pokemon of this specific size? So much data! So much to analyze! Sorry about that. I got a little excited there. My Pokemon research is moving forward at a great pace thanks to your efforts. Here, take these. Consider it my way of saying thanks. We got 20 Ultra Balls. You're a natural at this, Corey. You're a natural at this Pokemon catching thing, aren't you, Corey? For your next goal, let's aim for 200 species. I know that's a tall order, but keep tossing those Pokeballs and don't give up. I see you're already registered 200 species of Pokemon to your Pokedex for me. Wow! Pokemon from the mountains? Pokemon from the sea? Wait, what? No way! You haven't found Pokemon in a place like this? Sorry about that. I got a little excited there. My Pokemon research is moving along super duper splendidly thanks to you. Here, take this. Consider it my way of saying thanks. You obtained 20 Quick Balls. You put the Quick Balls in your bag's Pokeball pocket. You're a bona fide Pokemon catching professional, Corey. For your next goal, it's finally time to go for a complete Pokedex. Aim for 400 species. This is no easy feat, but I'm sure you can do it. Keep tossing those Pokeballs and don't give up. What? Are you telling me you've already registered 400 species of Pokemon to your Pokedex? Wow! Wow! You did it! You completed the Pokedex! That's amazing! Really amazing! Research on the Pokemon of the Paldea region is moving ahead like never before. And it's all thanks to you, Corey. You know, I visited the strange shop the other day and happened to pick up a little something. Might not seem like much to get second-hand gift, but here, from me to you. We have obtained the Shiny Charm. Woohoo! You put the Shiny Charm in your bag's key item pocket. The Shiny Charm. Having one of these mysterious shining charms makes it more likely you'll encounter shiny Pokemon in the wild. I wish I could give you something a bit better for your efforts. Now, what's all this commotion about, I wonder? Ah, Director Clavel! This student of mine completed their Pokedex. Upon my word? What a marvelous accomplishment, Master Corey. He really surprised me too, pulling off a feat like this. Well, Mr. Jacques' delight clearly shows how commendable your work has been. Please, allow me to reward you with a special gift. Students who achieve great feats such as this deserve to be recognized for their hard work. This congratulatory message, penned by the company that certifies Pokedex completion, is for you. The Diploma. Trainer Corey, we hereby certify your achievement of completing the Pokedex. May this great feat be celebrated by all. Game Freak. I'm going to take a picture of that because I'm going to put that up somewheres. I know it sounds kind of funny, you know, but that's pretty cool. All right, guys, so we have finished our Pokedex. I reconfigured your Pokedex app so that you may view your diploma there anytime you like. Programming is another of Director Clavel's skills, you know. But anyway, you sure did great with the Pokedex, Corey. If completing the Pokedex was one of the treasures you were after, then I'd say you've had a resounding success on your treasure hunt. Quite right, Mr. Jacques. A fitting comment indeed, if rather surprising coming from you. Hehe. Well, I am his homeroom teacher after all. Got to act like it from time to time, I guess. You may have completed your Pokedex, but there is still plenty of adventure to be had. I hope you'll keep looking for new Pokemon to befriend here in Paldea. I very much look forward to watching over your continued progress as well. Alright guys, so that is the Pokedex completion for Paldea. So let's go back to the entrance hall. And in the next step, we're going to want to adventure to the land of Kitakami. Now the reason why we will be going back to Kitakami is because there are still some Pokemon left to obtain in the Kitakami Dex. So, what I think we will do is we're going to fly to Kitakami, and that's where we will end the episode there for today. Now, hopefully you guys had a fantastic time watching me complete the Pokedex. I know it has been a ton of fun trying to complete it there. It's something that I actually do in majority of my gameplays. If I don't complete the Pokedex, that game is not done. So that's definitely a task that I set out for, very nostalgic for me because I've gone up through all of the different generations and I've done this in every generation. And, you know, completing the Pokedex for me is just a given. That's what you're basically, you know, paying for when you get these games. You want to complete the game, and that's exactly what we're doing. So, guys, in the next episode, we're going to go through, we're going to talk to the photographer, we're going to go on an adventure, and then we are going to explore the land of Kitakami once again in order to try to capture the Loyal 3. They should be available now here as we have now finished up with the story. So we will take a look here as we go and see what we can do with finishing up the Kitakami Dex. Alright guys, take care, have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.